I think that we have to give it to Konami. For all the obvious and frustrating flaws in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, you can't say that they've been afraid to innovate lately. In the past few years, we've gotten a host of products and formats that seek to change the way that we play our favorite card game, and gives players an alternative to the standard meta that we've all come to know and occasionally love. Time Wizard, Rivalry, even products that didn't quite hit the mark like Cross Duels. Yesterday, Konami's social media team unveiled the newest and next journey in Yu-Gi-Oh's competitive alternate format history, Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesys is a format designed to bring old or returning players back into the fold gently, or give current players a potentially lower power arena to mix up the routine. Konami has stated as much themselves. The following is from the official website. Who is Genesys for? Genesys was designed for everyone, but it's mostly meant as a big tent to provide a good and fun home for all sorts of duelists, including duelists who are looking for a less complicated game, duelists who are new to the game, duelists who have always had a favorite deck and want their favorite deck to be a little more competitive, anybody looking for a new experience or change of pace, duelists who love a deck building challenge, and everyone who can't get enough of dueling. This is a tacit recognition that the current state of the game, while infinitely satisfying and interesting to players like myself, has played a role in gatekeeping many returning players from jumping back in. I think there's a world where, if successful, the Genesys to Master Duel bridge could be very beneficial for the long-term health of the game. The website itself states that the skeleton of Genesys was based on Rivalry of Warlords, a popular and fun alternate format that you may be familiar with already. I myself have played quite a bit of it. Most of the rules are the same, and the biggest changes come in deck building and the field itself. Both Link and Pendulum monsters are banned in their entirety, eliminating one of my personal favorite summoning methods as an Altergeist stan, but eradicating one of the most common points of complaint for returning players. Dealing with Link arrows and Pendulum scales is a no-go in this format. Appropriately, the EMZ has been eliminated as well, and there are no Pendulum zones either. The board will largely resemble how it looked back in the day. Banning all Links and Pendulums seems like a massive move. However, aside from them, every other card in the game is free to play. There is no ban list. A standard limitation of 3 copies of an individual card per deck still applies, however. So you might be asking, how does a format with no ban list aim to be more simple, slower? How can a format, even without Link monsters and scary Pendulums, bring new players in when turn 1 FTKs are nearly inevitable? Introducing the second biggest change to the Genesys system, point buy value. While hardly a revolutionary concept in and of itself, many other TCGs have done this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has stayed far away from assigning any kind of objective numeric value to its cards for years. It's often so hard to judge the power of any one card in a vacuum, and it's often the combination of cards or strategies that work together to put a card within risk of banning. But Konami wants to try. Nearly every card in the game has a point value of 0, meaning that a card like Altergeist Multifaker can be played at 3 without impacting the legality of your deck in the slightest. Meanwhile, a card like Reinforcement of the Army is a whopping 40 points, limiting how many of it, and other cards, you can play in your deck in the first place. According to the website, the default number of points is 100 per deck. That includes the main, extra, and side. Tournament organizers have the freedom to change the deck point limit based on what they or their player bases want to do. The website recommends 200-point tournaments with massive power card additions, 50-point tournaments where the power level is relatively low, or even 0-point formats where players are without any of their designated power cards and are forced to duke it out a little more old school. It's fair to say that the success or failure of this format will largely depend on how accurately Konami has judged the power level of these power cards in relation to the default deck cap of 100. It's not unreasonable to say that you feel it's arbitrary. What makes Gateway of the Six a 100-point card, meaning that you can play a single copy and nothing else in your deck, but Pot of Greed is a 30-point card, meaning that you can play 3 and still have room to spare? I think that heavy playtesting will be needed to vet these point values, and hopefully Konami will be receptive to feedback regarding wildly inappropriately valued cards, or cards that they may have missed. The following is read directly from the website. No forbidden cards. There's no individual card in the game that's so incredibly powerful that it can never be allowed. Not even longtime members of the forbidden cards list like Painful Choice. It's not that powerful by itself. It's powerful because it lets you get other powerful cards. With Painful Choice sitting at a 95-point cost, you can't really combo it with other power cards in Genesys. But if you really want to play it, you can. It will just take up most of your deck's point budget by itself. Specific combos can be priced out. If a multi-card combo results in an undesirable interaction, function, like an FTK, it can be removed by just pricing the card most responsible at 100 points, and the other needed components at 1 point. This puts the combo over the standard 100 point cap, so it can't go in the same deck. But at locals or side events, the tournament organizer can set the point cap to whatever the players want it to be. So if you want to run a high power tournament with a 500 point cap, you're free to do that and use those combos. We'll talk about the multiple point cap variants in another article. You can't put every single card in your deck. With a point cap, there's a real trade-off when deciding if you want to play extraordinary powerful cards like Maxi or Graceful Charity in your deck. You certainly can do it, and you can play multiples if you want. However, if you do, you're giving up other important tools that your deck might need in order to function, like cards that enable turn 1 interaction going second, like Ash Blossom. Do you really want to spend 50 points per Maxi? Maybe, if the rest of your deck is 0 cost and you're confident the extra cards from it will surely let you win. Or you could spend 51 points and get full play sets of both Molcharmy Fuelos and Molcharmy Purulia, 3 copies of each. This is lower power, but you'll see at least one of those Molcharmy cards far more often than you would see that single Maxi, and it only costs 1 point more than playing a single Maxi. Another example is you could play 3 copies of Pot of Greed if you want. This card allows you to draw 2 cards from your deck. Crazy. But at 30 points each, that will take 90 of your deck building points. The choice is yours. End quote. A few more interesting additions to the initial point value list include, and I've included the link to the page in the description if you want to verify and explore more. Shaddoll Winda at 60 points, Emergency Teleport at 40 points, Effect Veiler at 7 points, Ash Blossom at 15 points, Crossout Designator at a mind-blowing 10 points, and the True King of all Calamities at an unfortunate but understandable 100 points. Wish it was banned. There are significantly more cards than this, and the initial list appears to be a total of 505 cards, which is substantial and worth checking out. I agree that this provides a massive deck building challenge for experienced or creative players, and I think that encouraging this kind of process could be revolutionary for an official product. So great, they've put out another product. What's the support going to look like? Is this going to be abandoned like Speed Duels? While it's obviously impossible to know for certain at this point, the website states that the format will be available for all OTS stores and will be at YCS events with the Genesys Invitational. Multiple 16-person tournaments will be held on Saturday, and the first and second place finishers of these tournaments will be selected to compete in the final tournament on Sunday. The website promises prizes like 2009 Shonen Jump cards and a giant-sized Pot of Greed, which seems pretty damn cool to me. I'm always a fan of more options for the day after I go X2 drop, and I will almost certainly be giving this a try at YCS Pittsburgh. This format will live or die by the same thing that all alternate formats in this or any game has. Is it well supported? Is there demand? How well managed is it? Obviously, the answers to these questions have yet to come, and I understand and respect the instinct to be cynical. Personally, I couldn't be more excited and plan on spending some time on stream this week deck building in the official Genesys deck builder provided on the website. I think some of the point values are going to have to be aggressively tested out, as some of them don't make a lot of initial sense to me, but I'm willing to be patient. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this another flash in the pan destined for the wastebasket, or do you think it could be a vital part of Yu-Gi-Oh's future? I've linked all the official resources in the description, so give it a look. Like and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed this, and remember to wash behind your ears.